There's a darkness lurking beneath the surface of this idyllic neighborhood. My dog's disappearance was no accident. This real-life horror story explores the chilling possibility of something sinister happening in plain sight. Buddy was a mutt with a heart bigger than his scruffy, medium-sized frame could contain. His fur was a patchwork of brown and black, like he'd been stitched together from the best parts of a dozen dogs. Those eyes, though, big, soulful, and always glinting with mischief, could make you forgive him for chewing up your favorite shoes. He'd been with us for 7 years, ever since we found him shivering in a cardboard box outside the gas station on Route 17. My kids, Emma and Jake, called him their brother. My wife, Laura, said he was the only one who listened to her without arguing. Me? I just loved the way he'd curl up at my feet while I read, his snores keeping time with the tick of the clock. It was a Tuesday in late October, the kind of crisp Maine day where the air smells of pine and wood smoke. Nothing felt off. I let Buddy out into the backyard around 4 p.m., same as always. He bounded out, chasing a squirrel up the oak tree, barking like he'd just discovered the meaning of life. I laughed, called him a knucklehead, and went inside to start dinner. Laura was at work, the kids at soccer practice. The house was quiet, just the hum of the fridge and the distant yip of Buddy doing his business. I don't know how long it was before I realized he hadn't come back to scratch at the door. Maybe 20 minutes. I stepped outside, expecting to see him sniffing the compost pile or rolling in something gross. "Buddy, come on, boy." Nothing. Just the wind rustling the leaves. My stomach did a little flip, like when you miss a step going down the stairs. I checked the gate. Locked. Same as always. The fence was intact. No holes. No signs he'd dug his way out. I called again. Louder. My voice cracking. The backyard was empty. Buddy was gone. Panic hit like a freight train. I tore through the house, checking under beds, in closets, anywhere he might have snuck in. I ran laps around the yard, shouting his name until my throat burned. The kids got home, saw my face, and started crying before I even said a word. Laura pulled in at 6:30, and by then, the sun was gone, and so was any hope of this being a simple mix-up. Buddy wasn't just hiding. He was gone. We didn't sleep that night. Laura and I printed flyers. Buddy's goofy grin staring up from the page. A color photo from last summer when he jumped into the lake after a stick. Missing. Buddy. Brown, black mutt. 40 thalms red collar. Loves treats. Please call. We plastered them on every telephone pole, mailbox, and shop window in our little town of Derry. The kids went door to door, their faces red and puffy, asking neighbors if they'd seen anything. I walked the woods behind our house until my boots were caked in mud, shining a flashlight into every ditch and hollow. The community rallied at first. Old Mrs. Callahan from across the street brought over a casserole and said she'd keep an eye out. The guy at the hardware store posted our flyer in his window. A few folks called with tips. A dog barking near the old mill. A shadow moving by the train tracks. Each lead was a spark of hope, and we chased everyone. I drove out to the mill at midnight, Laura clutching my arm. Both of us praying we'd find Buddy caught in some brambles. Nothing. The train tracks were just as empty. The only sound, the whistle of a freight train in the distance. By day 3, the exhaustion was a living thing, clawing at us. Emma stopped talking, just stared out the window. Jake kept asking, "What if he's hurt, Dad?" Laura and I took turns breaking down. one of us always trying to stay strong for the other. The worst was the silence at night. No jingle of Buddy's collar, no thump of his tail against the floor. Just the questions that kept us awake. Where is he? Is he scared? Is he alive? We ran through every possibility. Maybe Buddy slipped through the gate somehow, chasing a rabbit. Maybe he got picked up by animal control. Though we called every shelter within 50 miles, and no one had him. The darker thoughts crept in uninvited. Could someone have taken him? There'd been rumors around town. Dogs going missing. Mostly strays, but a few pets too. The kind of talk you dismiss as small-town gossip, until it's your dog. I started noticing things. A beat-up van I didn't recognize parked a block away. A guy in a hoodie watching me a little too long at the gas station. Paranoia, maybe. But it felt like the town was holding its breath, hiding something. We got one solid lead, about a week in. A kid swore he saw a dog like Buddy near the Barrens, that swampy stretch of land by the Kenduskeag stream. We combed through it, wading knee-deep in muck, calling his name until we were hoarse. Found nothing but a torn red collar. Not Buddy's, but close enough to twist the knife in my gut. The police were sympathetic, but useless. Dogs run off sometimes, the officer said, like that was supposed to comfort me. No tracks, no witnesses, no answers. Just a hole where Buddy used to be. Hope is a cruel thing. 1 minute, you're sure he's just around the corner, waiting to come home. The next, you're picturing him cold, alone, or worse. I'd wake up at 3 a.m., convinced I heard his bark, only to find the house empty. Laura stopped eating. The kids started having nightmares. We were a family unmoored, drifting in a sea of what-ifs. What if we'd checked the gate one more time? What if I'd kept him inside that day? The guilt was a weight, crushing us. Even now, months later, the fear lingers like a bad smell. I walk past Buddy's bed, still in the corner, and it's like a punch to the chest. I keep expecting to see him at the door, tail wagging, like nothing ever happened. But there's a shadow over our house now, a sense that something's wrong. Derry's always had its secrets. Folks here don't talk about the kids who went missing in the 80s, or the weird lights in the woods some nights. I used to laugh it off. Not anymore. We learned the hard way about microchipping. Buddy didn't have one. Our fault, thinking a small town was safe enough without it. If I could go back, I'd chip him, put a GPS tracker on his collar. Never let him out of my sight. We still check the shelters, still drive the back roads sometimes, calling his name. Hope's thinner now, but it's there, stubborn as a weed. If you've lost a pet, you know this pain. It's not just a dog, it's family. If you're going through it, keep looking, keep asking. Microchip your pets, lock your gates, and don't trust the world to be kind. Share your stories if you can. It helps, knowing you're not alone. And if you see a scruffy mutt with soulful eyes and a red collar, call me. Please. Buddy's still out there somewhere. I have to believe that.